On his first business trip to India, this big man noticed a legless beggar. The beggar was following him, pushing a rusty cart. So the man took a few coins from his pocket.
Here's 50 paisa. Buy yourself some WD-40.
He tossed the coins to the beggar, but what he never expected was that the beggar not only understood his insulting words, but also threw all the coins back on the ground. Sometime later, while using the restroom, the man discovered that same beggar had followed him there.
Listen, fella, I already gave. Do you understand English?
Furious, the man put away his newspaper and rushed out to confront the greedy beggar. Unexpectedly, the beggar suddenly erupted with strength, dragging his large body out of the stall. Later, a plane landed at Washington Airport. The man walked off the plane and, accompanied by a hotel bellhop, entered his reserved room with a vacant stare. The bellhop eagerly helped with his luggage, hoping for a tip, but the usually generous man just stood with his back turned, silent, showing no intention of tipping. After the disappointed bellhop left, the man finally turned around. He sat on the bed, expressionless. The next morning, police were called to the hotel. They found the man had mysteriously died. There were no signs of a struggle, but there was a set of strange fingerprints on the bedsheet.
A child's print.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
However, judging by the way the man died, the killer couldn't possibly be a child. Later, Dana performed an autopsy. She determined his time of death was 24 to 36 hours prior. This meant he died before leaving India. A dead man had flown from India to the US, then taken a taxi and checked into a downtown hotel. This clearly defied logic. The two immediately contacted the Indian consulate. They learned that just 3 weeks earlier, an American businessman had also died in a hotel, in exactly the same manner as the big man. When Dana checked the autopsy report, she saw the recorded weight was 238 pounds, but the businessman's passport showed he was only 205 pounds. This 33-pound difference was a crucial clue. Suddenly, she had a terrifying thought. Perhaps the murderer in these two cases could freely enter and exit the victims' bodies. It was a stowaway husk, the size of a child. That would explain the small fingerprints. If they weighed the big man's body, she was sure his weight would also have increased by 33 pounds. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, a man with a vacant expression applied for a janitor job at a school. The principal, impressed by his resume, overlooked his unusual demeanor.
And I understand you can start immediately?
A few nights later, a boy attending that school found a legless beggar in his room.
Dad?
What is it?
There's a man in here!
What?
A few seconds later, the beggar had vanished. His father thought he'd just had a nightmare. After calming him down, the father went to the living room to watch TV. Unbeknownst to him, behind his back, hearing his father scream, Jack rushed anxiously from his room. But by then, his father had already lost his life. At dawn, Dana and her team arrived at the scene. From Jack, they learned that last night he saw a short beggar who moved using his arms. All clues pointed to this beggar being the one who killed Jack's father. He was also very likely the same person who killed the big man, as Jack's father's death was almost identical. However, what puzzled Dana was that Jack's father didn't bleed heavily like the other two victims. She froze, instantly thinking of a possibility.
Unless that's just the first stage.
Realizing this was a supernatural case, Dana found a professor well-versed in Indian culture. Based on her description, the professor immediately guessed that the beggar must be an Indian ascetic. Such ascetics possess powerful mystical abilities. They can not only become invisible, but also disguise themselves as anyone. Meanwhile, the eerie beggar returned to the school, continuing to pose as an ordinary janitor. Unexpectedly, a boy named Tom accidentally saw his true form. Though Tom pretended nothing happened, the beggar had already targeted him. Tom's gut told him this strange janitor must have killed Jack's father. He told Jack about it. Then, on his way home, he heard the sound of rusty wheels. Though he saw nothing behind him, he keenly sensed danger. He immediately started running, escaping back home before the beggar could catch him.
Whoa! What's the matter with you? Nothing.
But that very night, Tom's mother also died. When police arrived at the scene, Tom, who had been hiding, emerged from the bushes. He told them the killer was a terrifying beggar, who had been hiding at the school disguised as the janitor. Dana's eyes widened in shock. She immediately had the janitor arrested. But after 4 hours of interrogation, the janitor hadn't said a single word. Then the professor realized something. He took a video camera and aimed it at the janitor in the interrogation room. Sure enough, as he suspected, even though the janitor was sitting there, the camera showed no one at all.
If he's not there,
He could be anywhere.